Hi everybody again, my name is Debbie, and this time we're going to be talking about one of my favorite birds of all time. This guy. Who is this guy? It is a great blue heron, and in the city of Portland, the great blue heron is considered the city bird because we have lots of herons here because of the Willamette River, the Columbia River. We have lots of lakes and ponds and streams, and so this is a great habitat for great blue herons. The one thing that I have to show you that I was really excited about is a great blue heron skull. Now, this is not a real skull. It's a fake skull that I bought off the internet, so it's not real. It's fake, but I just want you to look at this. Look at the beak. The beak, I measured the beak. The beak is 5 inches long. And you can look, you can see the eyes right here. And even though the eyes are to the side, their eyes are looking straight ahead, okay? Because they are predators. And so if you're a predator, you need to be able to have your eyes facing forward so you can see that animal moving and catch it right in front of you. Okay, so they're looking straight down like this. And with their beak, that's how they catch their foods, with their beak. And there's lots of different ways they catch them. One is what I like to call like the chopstick way. Okay, so if it's looking down in the creek or the water and it sees fish or it sees a frog, a salamander, whatever it happens to find, it's going to lunge down and grab it, and it's going to grab it kind of like, here's my tongue, going to grab it kind of like this. Okay, so like if you're using chopsticks for sushi kind of thing, right? It's going to go like this. So they're going to grab it, it's going to be here. And then they're going to kind of maneuver it around like this. And if it's really big, they take their head up like this and they go gulp, 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 and they gulp it down. If it's not very big, then they'll just kind of move it on down with their throat pretty easily. Okay, so one way is like the tongs or chopstick way. The other way is that they spear it, right? They gouge it right there. So if they're looking down and they see a fish coming by or something like that, they will maybe grab it like this and instantly kill it. Then they will get on the ground and then they'll grab it and swallow it down. And if you look here are their nostrils. Now, not only do they eat animals that live in the water, believe it or not, they also will go into the fields. I've seen them go into the fields looking for snakes, looking for frogs that live in the grass, and for mice, shrews, small mammals, things like that. Whatever, they're pretty opportunistic, so whatever they can find that they will eat. Again, here's the noses right here. Right there. Okay. And one which I want to show you in this photo here is, if you can see, they got really, really long legs that do not have feathers on them. How would this long legs help them survive in their habitat? Well, what they do is, with those long legs in the water, that prevents them from getting their legs really wet, right? If they were going to be going in the water and they had really, really short legs, then they would be up here with the water and their feathers would get wet and all mucky. You can see there's mud on his legs here from the bottom of the water. So they have the really, really long legs to be able to go through the water without getting mud and water on their feathers. And can believe it or not, they height-wise, they can stand about 4 feet tall. So they can be really tall, and with those long legs, they can go in pretty deep water. And so when they're in the water and they're hunting, if you look at this here, okay, now they are staring straight into the water. And when you look at a heron, they're pretty skinny and narrow from looking at them head on. And so they look like sticks, branches, right? And so when a fish or other prey are swimming around, they don't notice this heron because it's super still. It just sits there completely still. It can stand still for a really, really long time. And then just when they see the opportunity, they'll snatch up the animal. Okay, so these guys stand for a really long time. Sometimes you'll see them standing on one leg to kind of give the other leg a break, right? But they can look just like a branch or a stick if you're looking up from the water here. Okay. Now, if you were thinking, well, how can I find these guys in flight? Like when they're flying up in the air, how can I identify them? And what's really cool is that it's actually a pretty easy way. First of all, their wingspan, it can be 7 feet long from tip to tip of the wing. So it's really big wings. Okay, so if you're looking up in the sky and you see an animal with really big wings, that's one check. The other one is they're going to have their legs coming straight out, just straight out. So you're going to see the wings, you're going to see these black legs coming straight out. And then with their necks are going to be kind of in this S shape when they're flying. So that's one way you can tell the difference between a heron versus a crane or some kind of goose like a Canada goose. Okay, so you're going to be looking for that neck kind of scrunched in an S shape when they're flying in the air. And some people, including myself, say they look like pterodactyls. You know, like they just look this big, gangly, pterodactyl-like bird. And their call, it's really like, it's very gruff. You're not expecting it coming from a bird, right? And then this time of year, so it's mid-April, and this time of year they're starting to gather their nesting materials. They will nest in what they call a rookery. And that means is that they'll pick like a forest or a bunch of trees near water, and they will all pick a tree next to each other so that the greater number, right? If they have more nests that means the more adults can be watching out looking for predators coming in to get their eggs or their babies. So they're all in a rookery. There's one rookery I went to where I used to work. They had 40 nests, we count. So there can be lots of nests in there. They're gathering materials right now. Big sticks, small sticks, grasses, pretty much whatever they can find to interweave those and keep those tight. And then they're going to lay their eggs. And about June is when, maybe late May, early June, is when the babies are going to start hatching. And they are really cute. They have like little tiny like punk rock little feathers coming up. And they are loud. They are very, very loud. Especially when the parents are coming in to bring them food. They are just, you can hear them from a really long ways away. And if you had a spotting scope or binoculars, that's the best way to be able to see them. And when the leaves come out, it's really hard to spot them. So unless you know specifically where a rookery is going to be, it might be difficult to find them. But when we are able to go back out and explore these amazing places, you can definitely look up different websites to help you find those locations. So again, with my high-tech fancy outlet here, this is a great blue heron, and this is their amazing skull with that amazing bill. And I hope to see you back next time. We're going to talk about ducks. Thanks.